Charlottesville, Virginia, now Barcelona. What's next? This is Throttle Up Prepper. Charlottesville, Virginia, now Barcelona. What's next? How you doing? This is Throttle Up Prepper. I'm your host, Jeff. Thanks for stopping by and clicking to watch this video. I greatly appreciate it. To all my subscribers, thank you. If you're not yet subscribed, please subscribe now. Click the notification bell so you get notified every Monday and Thursday when we put out a video. I know it's Friday. We had some issues yesterday, but everything's resolved and we're back at it. So, we're talking about, obviously, current events. I'm not a fearmonger. You guys know that. And, I know this is one of those subjects, no matter what you try to say, you're going to make everybody on one side or the other hate you. So, I'm not getting in any of that. But one thing I want to say is current events in this country and around the world are just getting me personally to the point, not really of disbelief, because on the one hand, I've seen the direction we've been going for a very long time. So on the one hand, it doesn't surprise me, it saddens me, it sickens me, it makes me angry for the world that we are creating, that my kids have to live in. And of course, that I and my wife have to live in. I don't even recognize this country anymore. It's sad. I remember when I was a kid and my parents would talk about, the good old days. It was kind of hard to relate, but yet you still could. But now I feel like when I'm talking to my kids about how it was when I grow up, that somewhere in their minds they must be thinking, what storybook are you talking about? That doesn't sound like what we hear on the news. It doesn't sound like what our teachers tell us. And it's just sad. It's just sad. But here's what I do want to talk about. Not that long ago, I did a video which I'll link to in the description. WROL could be coming to a neighborhood near you. Now more than ever, it really feels like that is the case. And I got to wipe my eyes there. Pardon me. I don't know, allergies or something. So what do we do about it? Also, back when I did my bug out vehicles video, I told you guys, teased you, I had a little surprise coming up. Well, the surprise fell through. I'll tell you what we were trying to do. We were trying to get what we thought was going to be our ultimate bug out vehicle and fun vehicle. We were trying to get an RV. And as it turned out, it was an older one. It looked, great, a little dated, but had some issues. They couldn't seem to get it fixed. And then we found out there was some odometer tampering, so we just backed out of the deal. Now we're deciding, finding a cabin in the woods is a good idea. Always thought it was a good idea. Now finally got my wife to think it's a good idea. But here's the thing, I'm not a rich man. I don't have a ton of money. I don't, I don't have stacks of cash laying around like Ebenezer McScrooge or whatever that character was. I'm not taking any gold coin baths yet, maybe one day. So I've even started, looking at properties that I wouldn't necessarily want to live in, full time. Not that they're ugly or not that they're in bad places, but just I'm talking fixer-uppers. I'm not terribly good at that sort of thing. My wife is, good at painting and things like that. But my thought is, I can't afford a $100,000 prepper retreat. I got a home. I got a nice home. I'm blessed, and I can pay for that. Our credit is great, but I'm not the kind of guy that has vacation property and stuff like that. Although now we're looking at stuff and looking for deals, because in the end, what matters in a full-blown collapse of society, rioting in the streets, civil unrest, WROL, whatever you want to call it. And I'm not in an urban setting. We're definitely suburban, but it's, there's a lot of people around me. I forget the exact number, but probably somewhere between 45 and 60,000 people in this town, and it's a great town. It's a nice town. People are great. People say hi to one another. There don't seem to be any problems here. But could that change? Absolutely. It could change here. It could change where you are. You just don't know. And having a place to go on the weekend with some new, fresh projects, new things to do. Buying land. Roy Rogers once said, you buy land, you ain't making it anymore. So it's not a bad thing to do investment-wise, at least to own the land, even if, the cheapest thing we're looking at now is it's only an acre, but it's on a mountain, not that far from here, but far enough where it's out of the way, where should things go down, instead of sitting here at the home and subjecting my family to who knows what. We can grab what we need to grab, jump in the car, and just go a short distance and be in relative peace and security for basically the cost of a second decent car. And right now my family, because of my eyes, we only have one vehicle, so it just kind of makes sense. It's what we're looking at. And the only reason I bring any of this up is because you're all just dying to know what Jeff is doing with his money and what Jeff is doing, but just to get you thinking outside of the box. Because most of you probably are like me, just regular guys and women who, have, normal lives, living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe you got a little bit put back. Certainly most of us all have our food stores taken care of. But financially, probably most of you are like us. You got good credit, you got some money, and your needs are met. But you're not normally going around buying properties and recreational vehicles. But you know what? This is one of those things that I believe isn't a luxury anymore. It's quickly becoming a necessity, and it's an investment. And if I'm wrong, and if you're wrong, and stuff doesn't happen, then you own extra property. It could always be sold. Land typically appreciates in value, and and even if it's not in the best of condition, it beats staying in a tent, guys, in the middle of the woods. And you know what? There's enough foreclosed properties and really inexpensive properties out there that might be worth considering. We're looking at also small log cabins in reasonable travel distance to certain resort communities in the mountains, where for a little bit more we can buy, but at least we have the opportunity to maybe even make some money renting the property out. There's even a property about it's right around an acre, just under an acre. It's in the middle of the woods on top of a mountain. It's a small mobile home. I'm not a mobile home kind of guy. I got like my 2-story brick house, to be honest with you. But you know what? It's better than nothing. It's better than a tent. And God forbid it comes to that, you got to have a place to go. So that's what I encourage you to start thinking. If you're one of my subscribers or a casual viewer and you're a prepper, and you're thinking, I don't have money to buy property. I don't have money to, get bug out land. I just can't do it. Maybe you can't do it and have a second home that you'd be, real proud to have your family and friends come over and visit. But you just might be able to afford some property that will at least afford you basic shelter in a time of need. And if that happens, it'll seem like a palace compared to living in your car or in a tent. Just a thought. Do with it what you will. Listen, it is definitely time for all of us to prepare for whatever comes our way. Whatever it is. It seems like it's coming faster and faster. Hope I'm wrong. Listen, make sure you stop by the website. The website is below, throttleupprepper.com. We got a new store on there. We're adding things slowly to it. We're not one of these big, huge channels that has millions of subscribers yet. Not making a ton of money. This isn't about making money to me, but you know what? I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot of plans. I have a lot of wishes and desires that I could do for this channel, in this channel, and quite frankly, quite honestly, it takes money to do the things I want to do. stuff like this doesn't really cost anything. But the things that I would like to do are a little different. So some of those things you'll be able to find in other places, but I would really appreciate you checking it out. It'd be a great way to support me and get the things you need anyway. Don't buy stuff you don't need or want. But check it out, share it, because you never know, someone else might be into it. Till next time, God bless.